You're watching Easy Recipes with Cuisinease. Hi and welcome again, my friends. Welcome to Cuisinease. Today we're going to be doing Jamaican style curried mutton. Now, some people may wonder, what is mutton? Mutton, New Zealand, Australia, England, European countries, is usually sheep meat. But in South Asian and Caribbean cuisine, mutton refers to goat meat. So it's not that anyone is wrong, right? But this is actually sheep meat, lamb, that I'm actually using to do the mutton, the curried mutton. But as I said, in Jamaica, we would normally use a goat. It's the same process, so I'm even going to put up this recipe as being curried mutton / goat, all right? Because it's the same process, all right? It depends on where you are. You call it a different name, all right? So we're going to start off by adding our seasoning and our spices, because remember that what makes Jamaican food stand out is the seasoning, the spices, and the cooking method that causes it to be flavored. The thing we have to guard against is we don't add too much of any one thing, because we don't want too much pimento or too much curried powder. We don't want it to kill the flavor, so you're tasting mostly pimento or mostly garlic. You want whatever it is that you add to the meal must enhance the flavor of the meat. So today we're doing curried mutton. So the first thing we're going to add is about 2 pounds of mutton. So we're going to add 2 teaspoons of salt. You add as you like. We're going to be adding 1 teaspoon of black pepper. You can add more if you want. 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. Of course, I like to use a little bit of ginger in my curries. So I'm putting 1 teaspoon of grated ginger. And here is one thing that I always use in my curries, because true Indian curries, you use a little masala. So this is 1 teaspoon of garam masala. Garam masala is actually made from a mix of cloves and cumin, cinnamon, right? I don't remember all the ingredients, but you can look it up if you would like, or I can put it in the comments, the description. And this is 1 to 2 tablespoons of curry. It depends on the type of brand you use, because some brands are kind of weak, some are strong. I've used a certain brand of curry powder for over 30 years now. And so I'm going to be adding to this amount here, I'm adding 1.5 tablespoons of curried powder, right? And the last 2 things I'll be adding is 1 small chopped onion and about 1 teaspoon of thyme. And then you just want to work that in. We're going to work that in, working the seasoning and spices. Oh, there's some of it got outside of the dish. Work it in. Of course, we use the hand, and as I was telling you, there's an easy way so that it doesn't stain your hands. You can actually put oil on your hands so that the curry doesn't stain your hands. And so there we have. But you see, I'm doing this so you can actually do it. I can make it easy for you to follow my example to get the meal done, because not everybody likes their hand in the meat, right? So we just move it around, and then we're going to leave it in the marinade for say about 2 to 3 hours or overnight. Or as I tell you, what I like to do is I like to come home from the supermarket and I put everything for the week in marinade. So I just take out the pack and I just get it done that way. So there goes our lovely mutton, ready to be curried after it marinates for about 2 hours. So now we're going to sear our meat. I forgot to put my phone on silent. Alright, so we had our pot heating and we're just going to add the coconut oil. And the next thing we're going to do is, remember we had our meat seasoned. And so we're going to be adding our meat. When that oil gets hot, we're going to sear our meat. So we're just going to add the meat and sear it, to seal in the juices. And I'm just going to keep moving it around. If you notice, I'm using not Mr. Dutchy, but I actually have another Dutch pot here. I actually got this over here in England. And so we're just going to sear the meat for about 2 minutes. 2 minutes. The searing process seals in the juices. Alright? And kind of gives the meat a little bit of color. So there we go. We're searing our meat. And after we've seared our meat, we're going to add 2 cups of stock. Just stir it around. And allow it to simmer, slow simmer, for about 30 to 40 minutes, depending on the cut of meat that you have there. So we've had our curried mutton in the simmer for about 30 minutes. And we're going to add a few more ingredients. We're going to be adding some potatoes and carrots. You can add cho-cho. Remember I was telling you about cho-cho. And you're going to re-season the pot. Alright. And then you're just going to stir it around and put it on low. Now, before you add these things, you don't want it to be all the way cooked through. You want it to have a little bite to it, but it's going to be tender by the time everything is done. Right? And there we go. We're going to cover our pot now. Let me just put the time, fix the time. We're going to cover our pot because we're re-seasoning the pot with the onions and the green onions, the scallions, the thyme, the hot pepper. We're adding some potatoes and carrots, and then we're going to re-simmer until the mutton is actually so tender, melt in the mouth. So we've had it simmering, and the potatoes should be done. And there we are. Our curry goat looks good. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Curried mutton. Lovely. Enjoy it.